I'm Eric Linder. I'm the president of SavaNet. SavaNet is a financial modeling and analytics company, and today we're going to be talking with you about quantamental investment strategies and how we might be able to help you out with that. There's supposed to be a clicker here. Okay, so I used to be a senior equity analyst at JP Morgan, where I would develop those very, very detailed fundamental company models and do very high-end valuation and analytics. And then I moved on to become a portfolio manager to global macro hedge funds. And I found that there were no tools available out there for me to do that same type of analysis that I did on a company-specific basis when you're looking at 100 or 1,000 companies. So that's what we founded SavaNet to do. Our products, we have several different ones. One is a model management and analytics system. And what that means is you can bring in financial data and full analyst models from virtually any source, a spreadsheet, your internal database, from an aggregator, a broker on the street, bring it in, standardize it, and combine it with market data and perform very, very high-end valuation and risk analytics on these companies. And we also sell the resulting data sets as our quantamental data feed. And then we have a web-based application that allows you to interact with the data and do company-specific valuation and comparison analysis. And lastly, we develop custom software. We have clients in the investment banking space, in the buy-side investment fund space, and the aggregators, where we build custom analytics for them. So many of you might have actually used our products and not even known it. That's back. Okay, so quickly, what is quantamental analytics? It really depends on whether you're coming from the quantitative side of things or the fundamental side of things. If you're a quant fund, what it means is quantifying fundamental research information and incorporating very high-end valuation and analytics and risk into your strategies. You know, you can't just use PE or price-to-book ratios anymore. And if you're in the fundamental management side, that means quantifying all your internal information that your analysts generate, combining it with fundamental data from aggregators and the like, and market data, and rebasing your investment process on that data flow. You know, the spreadsheets just don't cut it anymore when you want to do a hyper-detailed point-in-time analysis. Quantamental strategies have very unique and high requirements. First is the data set. You need an extremely comprehensive data set that is very deep. It's got to be globally consistent. It's got to be precise quality, because one error in one formula is multiplied by 1,000,000 times. And it's got to be on a point-in-time basis. That's one of the big advantages of quant funds over fundamental funds. They have point-in-time data. And you have to have expertise that combines quantitative knowledge with fundamental analysis knowledge. And that's extremely rare. I go into shops that have PhDs, but they don't know anything about valuation and analytics. Your network has to be big data ready. On the right side, you'll see here how the numbers quickly multiply up, and that SavaNet's source data set is over 100 billion data points. And you have to make this huge amount of data digestible through research about what really matters and what doesn't matter. And you have to make a front-end analytics application that allows you to access that data. And lastly, you need a hyper-detailed taxonomy to standardize and keep track of all this information from all these disparate sources, which SavaNet has in our 4,000 line item, five-level universal taxonomy. I was one of the authors of the National XBRL taxonomies, and I based our taxonomy on that. Once all the data comes into our system and it's standardized, we save it all in model data format, and we have over 1.5 million models like this. And what that means, being a model, is that it has a full income statement, full cash flow statement, full balance sheet forecast, and allows you to do much more detailed valuation analytics, such as DCF valuations, on a fully automated basis, updated every night. This is an example from our web application. This is an example of how we're using this data in analytics. This is a price targeting study, and allows you to enter in a price target, and it will automatically calculate 20 valuation metrics on a future point in time, and it will tell you where that valuation metric is going to fall in its historical point-in-time distribution. This is an example of comparing the company-specific models against our massive global universe. You can go in and take any point for any point in time for any company and compare it against the global universe or custom comparable set. And a question that we get a lot is, since we do deal with models, how do we compare with some of these offshore spreadsheet model scrapers like InSync Analytics, Zax, or Visible Alpha? And the answer is we really don't. Our system is completely different. It's a straight-through processing system, and our use case is much, much broader. We're not scraping spreadsheets. We're not rebuilding summary spreadsheets for just an analyst to change a few assumptions on. We're doing hyper-detailed models. And our coverage, instead of having 40 models on Apple and no coverage on another company, we have a consensus model for every company, 9,000 companies in the world. And you don't have to pay your broker for it either. So to finalize, why SavaNet? Number one is we have the most advanced quantum mental data set in the world with consensus models for 9,000 companies. We have the most advanced valuation and interactive analytics application. It's kind of like a super capital IQ on steroids. And then we do a lot of custom integration analysis. So if you have an internal system that you want better analytics on, or you have a commercial system you'd like to incorporate our analytics on, let us know. We've got a booth outside. Thank you so much.